beginning, I always had music. Wherever I went, my headphones would go with me. And when I found hip-hop, that love increased. You see, hip-hop is not just the music, it's not just a trend, it's a passion, it's a culture, it's a way of life, it's freedom of expression. It's not playing by anybody's rules, because this isn't music to be vacuum sealed and sold. This is music to be lived and told. It's an art that passes down. It's experiences. You can listen to life on the West Coast, on the South Side, in the Midwest, or the East. You can hear life from all over the world now. Hip-hop has encompassed the globe. And for me, that goes back to getting on the bus in those mornings before school, finding the empty seat, laying back, throwing the headphones on, and getting lost before school started. Or sitting in study hall writing my own raps down. For me, going back to then, that's the genesis.
Yo. Synonyms, similes, metaphors, and analogies. I write rhymes that connect to many personalities. If I tried to hold a tune, then nobody would listen. But nobody can ignore when my words mix with a rhythm. More bars than a federal prison, killing competition, and I'm not even in peak condition. Clear the vision, they say I'm not a musician, cause I use a 4-bar loop to accompany the composition. We back to check the system. 3-year hiatus, they thought that I went missing. Went cold, saw my dreams go distant. Went from working double time back to wishing. Max suspicion, a heightened intuition. I know they ain't good for me, they ain't a part of my vision. Head on collision, pumping rhymes like a piston. Everything bottled up, I had to find my ignition. Scorching hot, I got dragon's breath. Inhale deep, I think you know what happens next. Scorch the sky and burn the earth with a verse, and the people know it word for word. This is just deserved, my purpose for birth, and I'ma do it to the fullest for whatever it's worth. And I'ma give it all I got, all the sweat on my shirt, blood on the dirt. Keep going no matter the hurt, God's work. Praise to the divinity, this is the portal that connects to the infinity. A day off just sounds like quit to me. A little buzz over bullshit don't mean shit to me. Say something real or pass the mic off. We write the real from lights on to lights off. This type of ill is contagious, can't use the lights on. They throw on the headphones, no protection, they like raw. It's here as a cleanse, the ego is an obstacle for the artist to overcome to achieve the impossible. Try to make everybody happy, the illogical. When it started off by being offensive in a methodical way that forced people to think different, to come to terms with the reality and share an opinion. And it worked for a minute, but I clung to the formulaic approach till I maxed out and created a cloak that I hid under without pushing the envelope. Broke out of the shadow of all of that horrific smoke. I know where they wanted me, thought I was dependent on their cosign, but fuck you, get offended.
And to recap today's lesson, art should do one of two things. 1, it voices or displays the raw emotion of a part of the population who feel unseen or unheard, or possibly even unable, in the hopes that it will inspire them. Or 2, it invokes an emotional response from people who are ignorant to the world's problems or to the cries of the helpless, and forces them to have an opinion from a new perspective.
Professor?
Yes, Mr. Lopez.
What if you're not sure how to reach people because you're too afraid of offending them with what you show them?
It's an honest question, Mr. Lopez. I want you to remember this. Everybody gets offended.
E.G.O. Everybody gets offended. Get used to it. Digest this, and maybe you'll understand.
Climbed the ladder, but didn't make it down and thought, what if I just ended? Worried about being liked, afraid to be authentic, till I remembered everybody gets offended. Climbed the ladder, but didn't make it to the limit. Looked down and thought, what if I just ended? Worried about being liked, afraid to be authentic, till I remembered everybody gets offended. 17 years of recording my thoughts, only 2 hot summers, but what did it cost? My individuality, they want my tongue in a box, want me to smile for these photos and be something I'm not. I spoke on real issues, all minded my business. All I got met with is folks who minded their business, and now we forced to bear witness of what that ignorance brings. No longer can we pretend not to know what equality means. Wrote a few open letters and they all wanted more. I thought maybe that was my purpose that I was here for. I stuck to that and wrote, performed and spoke, all with this idea that my work could give people hope. But it left me empty, because while I reached many, I felt like I had to be how they would accept me. But most don't get what it's like with a pen and a mic, trying to write the anthem that brings the world together in light. Seem to lose my appetite, but I'm not done with this fight. Get offended, motherfuckers, cause the future's in sight. Yeah. Climbed the ladder, but didn't make it to the limit. Looked down and thought, what if I just ended? Worried about being liked, afraid to be authentic, till I remembered everybody gets offended. Climbed the ladder, but didn't make it to the limit. Looked down and thought, what if I just ended? Worried about being liked, afraid to be authentic, till I remembered everybody gets offended. Yeah. Yo, Corleone, this one's nice, bro. Woo! This beat feels so authentic. Back on my bullshit, I'ma go get it. Make them say, no limit. Flow so real, swear you can float in it. Fire burn the coals, I've been stoking it. For 3 years with the pain, I've been holding it inside my vault. Now I broke in it, let the toxic ooze out, we gon' soak in it. Gave them a handicap while I plotted and planned. I switched the style up and now I'm not in demand. Went for the hole in one, but I shot in the sand. Had it stripped down to just my cock in my hand. If you giving this test a grade, don't put a curve on it. This one long essay, a word vomit. Had to go old school style so I could nerd on it. Teach the people to help the world while you're on it. E.G.O ain't a comeback, it's a lesson. Life ain't the answer, it's the question. How can I help? What can I do? This is how to free you. E.G.O ain't a comeback, it's the lesson. Life ain't the answer, it's the question. How can I help? What can I do? This is how to free you. This is how to free you. Yeah. This is how to free you. This is how to free you. Yeah. This is how to free you. E.G.O. Yeah. Who put the style on lock?
TeeLow did.
Who made the whole city rock?
TeeLow did.
Who got the whole state hot?
TeeLow did.
I'm too real, that's why they tryna throw me to COVID. Ever since I was a kid, I've been reppin' that old shit, that dope shit that they all overdose with. Got dope sick cause I'm a lack of focus, but now I'm back running through the maze with closed lids. 1 for the money and 2 for showbiz. 3 to let them listen to the magnum opus. The MC ferocious, almighty explosive. Rappers get ghosted, just give me my roses. If I'm not in your top 10, I'll show you it's bogus. With closed fists, my oath is erase the whole list. I'm the coldest flame, so pure and smokeless. I wrote this so devoted, it's almost psychosis. Mental monastery where I'm penning these verses. Greatest rapper ever revealed as soon as you heard this. Reaching up, touching gods from under the surface. They can't impede my purpose, that's why they nervous. I know what you're thinking, that my time's overdone, but I know I'm gonna reach the planet more than the sun. Don't try to tell me the odds are 1,000,000 to 1. Already ran 1,000,000 miles, I got 1,000,000 to run. I know what you're thinking, that my time's overdone, but I know I'm gonna reach the planet more than the sun. Don't try to tell me the odds are 1,000,000 to 1. Already ran 1,000,000 miles, I got 1,000,000 to run. Okay, you had a little run, but I'm back now. About to take center stage and act out. Please remove yourself to the background. They hear me and start thinking you mystery. I'm here to make history, live and in person, and mostly metaphysically. The ultimate victory is showing you liberty, but if you oppose me bitterly, you'll suffer some injury. If you become my enemy, I'll show you your misery. Rapping and fire and put your ass on a rotisserie. Damage you linguistically, critically, show you humility, while I go on to unite the planet rhythmically. I know what you're thinking, that my time's overdone, but I know I'm gonna reach the planet more than the sun. Don't try to tell me the odds are 1,000,000 to 1. Already ran 1,000,000 miles, I got 1,000,000 to run. I know what you're thinking, that my time's overdone, but I know I'm gonna reach the planet more than the sun. Don't try to tell me the odds are 1,000,000 to 1. Already ran 1,000,000 miles, I got 1,000,000 to run, and we done. Yeah, it feels good, don't it? It was a typical day. I was at work, except my body ached and my heart hurt. Not sure what the cause was for sure. All I know is depression hit me and I had no cure. I was in a relationship, but I was blinded by faith. Looking back on it, that whole time was fake. Not that she was or I was, we both wanted to find love. We just put the energy in the wrong person for us. And now we in a struggle cause the reality hit that on the inside we both bring too much shit. And it hurt cause I wanted to save her from that, but I was stuck in this act, unable to see the real facts that I wanted it all too fast. A career and a home, and for it all to last, I spiraled into myself because while I was on top, the best of both worlds, I fell into a writer's block. Now everything stopped and I wasn't who I was. I realized she felt for someone she don't really love, and I realized I was holding on to a thought, this superficial happiness that I thought she brought. And things fall apart for me, I burned to the roots, needed help, so I went to get counseling in groups. I took some antidepressants, but I hate how they feel. So after one script, I never went back for a refill. And I continued on trying to piece it together, trying to capture my dreams just to keep it forever. Dreams don't work unless you do, that's real. Dreams don't work unless you do, that's real. I apologize to the ones who really cared, the ones over the few years who was really there. Everybody I promised I'd make it and do something special. The time wasted on self-hate has been so regretful, but I need to make it happen while I'm under the sun. I have visions that can come together with the right funds. I have a family who loves me, who won't let me be done, and a wife who gives me the strength to go on this run. And it feels good, don't it? Yeah. It's all fake news till they print your obituary. It's all fake news till they print your obituary. It's all fake news till they print your obituary. It's all fake news till they print your obituary. It's all fake news till they print your obituary. It's all fake news till they print your obituary. It's all fake news till they print your obituary. It's all fake news till they print your obituary. Yeah. Barely miss death by inches, and yet we tempted, we senseless. Why do we continue this war defenseless? Like we immortal when we ignore common senses. And in the old days, we build up fences to block out disease and bury bodies in trenches. In modern days, we slaves to perceptions and don't want to be considered too offensive. Fuck that misinformation is prevalent, but we let our distrust make us all unintelligent. We fooled ourselves into thinking everything's conspiracy. Now we don't take any red alert seriously. Phone in my hand, knowledge at my command, and yet we still argue and choose not to give a damn. I'm trying to go true north, but I hit dead ends because people can only understand left and right directions. No political scheme, I'm just trying to help make sure humanity can survive itself. But how can I when we insist on fake news? Everybody thinks they're awake, how can I wake you? It's It's all fake news till they print your obituary. It's all fake news till they print your obituary. It's all fake news till they print your obituary. It's all fake news till they print your obituary. It's all fake news till they print your obituary. It's all fake news till they print your obituary. It's all fake news till they print your obituary. Yeah. Yeah. They say if I wear a mask, I'm a sheep. If I don't believe in your theory, I'm asleep. Look, I've been on these internet streets long enough to know sometimes the ghost is just a person in the sheet. Push delete, I'm not reading this shit. I can't believe how many people are believing this shit. Come on, God, are you seeing this shit? I think I understand the reason we sick. They all got a PhD, full honorary degree in infectious disease. They all got an MD, and they'll explain to me why this shouldn't be believed, because there's a deeper agenda and yada yada. Okay, see, look, there can be multiple truths. People in power will always try to look for an excuse to validate the claims and official abuse. Tell you ignore the firing squad and focus on the noose. To hide the gritty intentions, pay attention, there's a lesson. Stop with the needless guessing. Nah, I ain't done. Nope. Everybody gets offended. Yep. Get offended. Okay. Yeah. When the national anthem come on, they stand in silence. Same thing they do when they see the violence. Same thing they did for generations behind us. Same thing they do to ignore all the science. And this ain't about sides of the aisle. This is about justice never getting a fair trial. This is about patriotism going out of style, because they believe patriotic is yes sir and a smile. They give you the truth and withdraw, and they get to decide who gets to move the law. The system was designed to antagonize, to the point we give up and become pacified. I have no idea what's even real anymore. All I can do is keep my eyes glued to the floor in hopes it don't fall out from under me. And by the way, fuck voting for anyone over 50. For real. Fuck voting for anyone over 50.
Most of our generation is very aware of a great entertainer.
I was born in 1990, November 12th, that makes me Scorpio. I don't care what the new zodiac is, everything changes as the earth moves its axis. I've worked hard, paid dues and taxes. I rock mics on stage and move the masses. I've learned actions, persistent beauty passes, so my art and my way of life have to match this. The end of an era, the Soviets fell. That's why the 1990s felt free as hell. That's why we look back with fond memories, cause it felt like things were getting better with no enemies. Now we had the internet, things were moving faster, and everything was bliss until the disaster. But we're not there yet. Hip-hop increased their reach and forced the government to recognize free speech. Meanwhile, they try to weaponize the streets with crack cocaine that came from the okay. Yeah, we not there yet, but look it up when you get a chance. And I bet you didn't know a lot of that. Okay, now we're oh yeah, 9/11, and then comes the Patriot Act. Now privacy gone in the name of safety. Free people living in fear. It's so crazy. So when you tell me that in 2020 we're losing our rights, I'm like, okay, but what about 01? Alright? It all stemmed from that and then some. They label you and look where they send them. No pretend dumb. Our parents probably sold us out. Figured down the line it wouldn't even amount to very much. They only thought about the present and left us to deal with the fallout of their direction. Fuck it, we'll fix it, we beyond the comprehension. We do it for the future, not to save our own pension. We do it for the earth and for humanity. We don't just throw darts against the wall randomly. No science for sale and rigged experiments. We connect on social media and share our experience, and we'll expose your ignorance. We opened our hearts and our minds, so that's the difference. Accept all opinions, search for truth, and build a better world to leave for the youth. Nah, man. Accept all opinions, search for truth, and build a better world that will leave to the youth. 1990. E.G.O. Look back, do your research, look it up. It's a whole lot going on top of a whole lot that was going on. Ignorance is a choice in 2020. Choose wisely. Yeah. I wanna say thanks for tuning in to E.G.O. Everybody gets offended. Yeah. Don't call it a comeback. First off, I wanna shout out Corleone. He killing the beats as I murder on the microphone. A young, talented, phenomenal producer with a future. I'm grateful we can collaborate over the computer. These intros show the world like windows. They allow me to sit down and catalog the info. I'm just writing from the soul, trying to bring back the past, so we can change the future and make it better than what we have. Everybody gets offended and everything is fucked up. The whole world in a crisis, but I can't shut up. Kids going missing, it's enough to bring you to tears. But make no mistake, they've been trafficked for 400 years. Don't act like it's just been happening now. And when the world opens up, you'll go back to forgetting how the dots were connected. Not everything is a conspiracy, but some crazy shit is happening out there clearly. And I think it requires attention. And look at the kids in detention. They're locked down, they need freedom and independence, but we strayed away from those principles. We act like the circling of the world is invisible. It's pitiful, the state of it all has affected me. What would happen if we all became refugees? The sin among the people is increased, and the cries are no justice, no peace. Where do I stand? My heart in my hands. My life is so much different than how I had planned, but we gotta work together to make the world better. There's so many who wanna push back against that effort. I don't have the answers, God knows I'm just a human, just trying to help us find the right solution. Small improvements to the Constitution ain't enough for 200 years of illusions. I just wanna see the people free to chase their destiny without looking over the shoulder for the beast. I just wanna see the people free to choose their destiny without feeling like selling their soul is the recipe. You dig? That's a wrap. Roll credits.